Hey guys, we're going to look at Frozen Soul helping me, Chris helping me. We haven't done it a little while. Let me just explain. I did a level up series on Crazy Stone 3Q up to 5 Dan, and showed all the thinking along the whole way, and a lot of people liked that, and that was great. And I won all the way. But once I got to 6 Dan, I felt like I hit a brick wall. So I approached Chris, great guy. I highly recommend him as a teacher. And he's been helping me. Yeah, so let's take a look. I haven't played at 6, 7 Dan level in, let's just say 20 years, long time. Okay, so trying to get it back. And so what I do with him, I'm white, is the first couple games we played, I spent time on, here's my thinking, let's go to the first one. So for instance, here, a lot of places to play. Where to play, why, what I'm expecting, what I'm thinking, what I think is important, what I think is not important. And the whole way he's like, yeah, correct. So it was encouraging that I'm not as bad as I feared I was, because it's been so long. So we did that the first two, I think it was. Anyway, this one, I said, let's just breeze through that since I'm comfortable with it and you seem to think I'm fine there. And let's get to the spots where I'm uncomfortable, where I feel a bit lost. So here we go. Regular stuff, no problems. I have my options. I choose this one. Now, as I told him, the bottom's not particularly interesting. So when I play this, I have no intention of taking the bottom, but rather it kind of forces black to answer in some particular way, and that's information. Let's see what he does. Okay. Now, what I'm not going to do is now settle. Because he's reaching out to the black center, developing the right, limiting me on the bottom. This is all his, this is what he wants. So I have no thought of living there, living in the corner. No, that's just an asking move. There's no way he can kill 03 anyway. So that's my asking move. And now I've got A and B to look at, right? Not C, that's the small side. Not something like this C, because that's side, not corner. I said, well, my style's to come. He says, yeah, that's the, yeah, all good. All professional 9 Dan stuff so far. In other words, it's easy. Nowadays, the openings are easy. Soon as black plays here, I feel white has an advantage. He agreed. Here, the question is, do we play A or not? Now, you've heard me go through this a number of times. We'll just go through it for those who are unfamiliar. If A sente, I want to do it because it helps my corner so much. If it's not sente, he's getting an awful lot. My next move, what makes you think it was sente? Well, on some boards, coming out is just really big and powerful. On this board, no, the top's small. I don't want the top. So this is not interesting for me. The other part of the equation is, as he turns, is that particularly big? No, there's a white group there on top. He's not getting anything here to speak of. So there's no reason for me to push. No one wants A, so I don't need to play it. So I'm perfectly fine as I stand. Time for the next spot. And right away, we know White's going to play A or B or C. Oh, sorry, C. Sure, C's possible. I guess D, the 3, but fourth line is pretty important here because there's so much going on in the center. Well, A, C, or D, give me a break. They're okay. But check this out. What now? Black does whatever you want. Black can do this, that, the other, anything. This is not an active move. It's not a demanding move. It's not a marching forward move. It's a gote move in a big area where he can do whatever the heck he wants. While this, forcing move. So this is White taking charge, which is by all means a better attitude and develops a better game for White. No question, come down. He says, absolutely. No question, come out. Absolutely. No question, I got to come out. We don't even ask the question. Now we ask. Now the answer is relatively clear, but we can defend ourselves on the bottom as we develop the bottom. We can live in the 3-3. These are big areas. So we have to ask, how do I feel about him surrounding me? Well, I'm fine. I'll get out. Everything will be fine. Not entirely fine, but it's not terrible. Well, what if he plays this way? Now it's getting terrible. I'm just a stick. We're not saying White's dying. We're saying White is being pushed around and Black's getting bigger and bigger. Therefore, come on out. And he says, yeah. Black surrounds. This was the first time in the game where I'm like, okay, up to here, it's just, kindergarten. Everyone knows up to here. Any strong players knows boom, 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 boom. That's the easy part. But now, let's look at the possibilities. Okay, his bottom right corner is pretty big. If I live round A or something, cut it in half. Very nice. How weak is my bottom left corner? Right, so what if he comes in and here? How unhappy am I with this? This is something to look at, right? Well, is it time to invade? Should I be thinking about that? Or should I, what word will we put on this move? Check this out. We played here and Black ignored. So we're not under attack. So we can't say that this is a defensive move because we weren't attacked. It's big. When Black plays on the right, it's a big territory. When we play on the right, we're getting ourselves more settled, and there's some size to it. On top of which we're approaching the peep, which we really like, and therefore can make him into a stick, right? Boom, boom. That Black group's just a stick. It has to really think about things. Turn off my heater. That's a bit much. Okay, we looked at A. B prepares for things like D, right? Turn that off. B says you can't force at H3 because I just lived. I'm ready to invade in places. It's a big move that prepares me to do the left. So we looked at A, B, C, and D. I don't think there are any other moves. Now, oh, what about this one? Well, that's a bad move, and there's no needs here. Black's fine, white's fine. Why are you playing there? Well, what about a big move? Well, black's fine, white's fine. What makes this a big area? Well, all the other moves have reasons as to why they're big and important. I don't see any others that have that. Okay. So from here, I'm very confident to say that no, B is too small. I can get rid of that one right away. If black comes in, I can settle in a number of ways. It's not like I'm in any trouble. It's just an exchange. No big deal. I'm not weak. So it's just an exchange. Okay. So B's gone. A is gone. Why? Double gote. Just imagine I go do something really big and he says, aha, I've taken the whole thing. Absolute gote. And now when I come in, I'm doing extra things. So I want him to spin a move there. And if I play there, it's going to be my gote, right? Because any move I play is I want to live. As soon as black thinks I'm alive, he plays away. So he always has sente. So A's double gote. Let's get rid of A and B. We talked about those. So now, which, invade or C? Well, first off, that C area is kind of big. He takes a large area or I take a large area. So it's big times 2, while D is, if I invade at D, I'm not getting any points, right? I'm struggling to survive. If I end up with a group on the left, I'm going to have 2 or 3 points. It's not impressive. While on the right, it's larger area times 2. I get it or he gets it. On top of which, there's the peep to ask to turn his group into a stick. So all of that leads to C. Now, I would say that all long explanation makes perfect sense. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is this is the first move of the game where I lacked confidence. I think this is right. And so later, if I'm not confident, then the direction is unclear. Well, what do you do then? I might have made a mistake. Maybe I should pull back. Oh, poor me. And what should I do? It creates a bad attitude. But if I'm confident, oh, he can't do that to me. I'm going to crosscut. You step forward rather than cowering back. So to me, now I'm explaining all this because this is my personal journey. I haven't played at a strong level for, like I said earlier, in the neighborhood of 20 years. So it's like, okay, I'm a little afraid now. Go forward. I mean, 6 Dawn bots are getting up there. They're starting to know what they're doing. Okay. So C. So when he said, of course, absolutely, yeah, obviously. It's like, okay. So now I'm going to play the same move I would have, but the difference is now, since he said that, I'm going to play more confidently. So that was nice. Well, oh, I did this first, and it's important reason why. How do you say it? I'm not entirely sure. This is a question. It's time to ask the question. It's a subtle thing. I'm far from home. He doesn't have to respond. He can do a lot of different things. He could say, I just want to live on the right. If you cut me, I'll live up there too. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go on the attack. And if you try to cut me, I'll run out and you'll have 2 weak groups. He could say many things. I need to know what he's going to do here. Or it's better to say I want to know, so that my next move is more educated. So he comes this way. Here's my second question. The lack of confidence comes right up. And I'm like, this or that, but this and this happened, and what about that? Oh my God, what should I do? So I'm involving him, Chris, that's the teacher I suggest, really great. I'm involving him in what my fears are, so we can take a look and go, yeah, I see, but here's why. Here's why you don't need to be afraid of that. Okay. So, first reaction, I want to cut. I warned you, I'm going to cut, and you let me. And now he has 3 totally weak stones on top. And if he starts coming out, he's weak on that side. So, I told him not to say anything as I'm explaining these things to him. And I said, okay, I cut. Here's all my thoughts. I said, but this is where I always get in trouble. There's a bloodlust. There's a ego. You can't do this to me. I'm better than you. All these stupid ego things pop up. And I'm like, there's something about this move I recognize as irrational in my head. So how does one counter that? By preparing. I could cut you now, or how about if I get strong first and do well on the right, and you have to come back and waste a move? That would be nice. So you can prepare and then cut later when you're more ready. You got a smile on his face. This is right, exactly right. Okay, so I got that one. So I've passed all my tests so far. He plays here. There's no question. I didn't even think about it. You got to cut. Maybe I should have. It's just like, well, any short readouts all say it has to start here. Comes up. Here's the third one. And I failed on this one. He gave a hint. And I'm going, really? And I looked. I'm like, of course. Why didn't I see that? And we spent some time answering that question. Why didn't I see that? Because it's like obvious, but you tend to look in certain places as a habit. And this was outside my habit. I just simply didn't look. So we went over, well, how can I find that next time, right? Okay, so let's go through it. First thing I can do, catch it in a ladder. Hey, I am now alive. However, this is a big move, right? He just accomplished a lot. I'm kind of tiny. He grew and he has sente. Well, I am happy that I lived, but he really just had free reign, and now he can go do what he wants. That's no good. I mean, it's not a good feel at all. So I'm thinking, okay, how about this one? And it's pretty much the same thing. You can just play this way, and it's, yeah, just white is not happy. So I'm like, well, since he's going to survive, and that's where I stop my thinking. Since he's going to survive easily on the right, anyway, I may as well make it a strong capture. And that's when he gave the hint. He says, unless you want to do it in a more active way. And I was like, deer in the headlights. What? Why didn't I think of that? Active way. Oh my God. Do you see it? I didn't. Wasn't until I go, oh my God. It's so obvious. Here. So if he tries to kill, I have him in a ladder. Black collapses. If he fixes, I still kill this. And he has problems on the right side anyway. So he can't kill me anyway. I'm like, wow. So I wrote myself a note. I pulled up my little notepad on my desktop and typing in, okay, when you don't know what to do in a fight, let me bring it up. See what I said here. When faced with a question during a fight, look for the active way. So a new proverb for me. I made it up myself. And that proverb will help me find this in an actual game. So I feel good about that. Okay. He plays here. And then I was so flustered at this point with the new thinking. Oh, okay. Let me lock that in my mind. Let me get the okay that I missed an obvious move. I said, okay, now I'll kill him or something like that. It's like, no, I mean, you forgot. You just said he can't kill you, especially if you defend these stones. Now it's just a straightforward, just a net. You don't have to think about anything. He's just dead. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I was like, my mind was getting a bit full. So this is the move. So this one's not entirely mine, nor the other one wasn't at all mine. He comes up. Like, okay, didn't expect that. But no matter what the readout is, it has to be here because I need to use up, not only he's about to kill me there, but this move, rather than this one, this move uses up a liberty against his two stones in my area. So it's much better for the fight. He comes down. And now, no, he doesn't. He plays here. Why? He can kill the stone. Let's have him kill it. It's dead. But check it out. Atari. It doesn't work. Atari. Get out. Atari. Let's get out one more time. It doesn't matter. Atari. Got to take. Atari. Got to fill. Boom. 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 He's all of a sudden a clump in the center, and I have a dynamic, thick group. So it's like, yeah, he kills the two stones, but the thickness I get is way, way better, which is why he doesn't kill the stone. Instead, he comes out to here, which finally takes care of the A cut. Now here we come to the last move. We're coming up on the hour that I had with him. And I'm like, okay, our cutting stone of A, actually B, pretty much gone now. Yeah, there's Aji there, but it's gone. And here, once again, I don't know where to play. Now that I'm stable and he's stable, I don't know how to find the direction of play. So then he asked a question that once again sort of floored me. It's a question I never ask. It's perhaps I never have asked it, but it's a necessary question in higher level Go. And that is, so he asked us so casually. So where do you see this game going? What kind of game is it going to be? How's it going to go? You may have said where. Sorry, there's a noise. Where will the game be taking place? That's not the right way of saying it. And I go, holy cow, I've never asked that question. So I looked around from a new perspective that he was bringing to me. And the perspective is, whether I live or not in Area 1, Area 1's a big area. If I remove it, he gets another big move. So we'll just say darn big area. Area 2 is not small, especially since he's now virtually captured the 3 stone. That's not a small area. And then we have the entire Area 4. What does white got? Well, let me remove these just so we don't have to look at everything. Area 1, pretty gosh darn tiny. Area 2, okay, there's something there. Medium. Area 3, 6 points. That's nothing to write home about. Area 4, 2-3 points there. I guess if I play first, I can pick up a few. So black's ahead. So that means that I'm going to be invading. Now, I would have come up with an invasion anyway, but the perspective really guided me to a higher level move. I mean, I'm like looking at this move big time because I capture 2 versus him capturing that stone. So I get the 1 stones. I get the number 2 area. I get to work with the cut at 3, which is really big for in-game. It's a big move. Is it enough to compete in points? No. I want this move so bad, but I don't need it. As we just looked, if black plays here, I get serious thickness, right? So I'm not in any danger at all. I don't need those points. I mean, I don't need the stones for my health. So it's only for points. And now it's nice points, but it's not enough to win. Which again leads to invasions. Okay. And then part 2 of the question, if I'm going to be invading, the real invasion is going to be the left, right? The left, right, the left, correct? Somewhere in Area 1. Because Area 2 is double gote. Whoever plays there, it costs a whole move. If I invade Area 2, I could separate groups. I could start a fight. There's lots of things I can do that aren't necessarily gote, especially double. So we're going to be doing Area 2. Shall we dive in? Well, at the moment, we're dealing with the A group. Black just played on it. So how did he phrase it that was so helpful to me? Oh, how would you prepare for the invasion? I'm like, I wouldn't dream of it preparing. I would simply invade. Well, how would you prepare? Maybe if it was me saying it, I would say, is there a preparation move that's useful? But I like the way he said it because it pushed my mind in a direction. And all of a sudden, well, if we're looking for a preparation move, it's here. This is exactly. Because now I can cut. And he has his own weaknesses. And let's just assume here for a moment, and then you start doing the invading. You've helped your center, broadened it, prepared for good things to come. Okay, so that's me sharing with you some of the things that were particularly helpful in this lesson with Chris. Anything else? And as far as who's ahead in the game, it's true, Black has more points at the moment, but White's more prepared for, like, how's Black going to deal with this? If he deals with it this way, getting strength, then that severely changes the territorial values. So this, what's he going to do? Stop me. Well, then he's split. What's he going to do now? These sorts of things. So yeah, White's doing just fine. Okay. I can't imagine that you would have gotten near as much out of this as I did when I went through it. It's nice for me to repeat the points for clarity's sake. And that's it. Thanks, everybody. Hope it was helpful. Catch y'all later.